Hola.
Plugging in. What do you like better? Can you tell a difference between that and oh that camera?
Wait, do it again.
Um, that and that.
Oh, the other one is better.
Is it more clear?
Yeah.
That's funny. That's my camera. What?
Is that your laptop?
No, I'll send a picture to you. Oh, maybe I can't. Oh
When
yeah.
uh, when people are in the waiting room, can you see when people are in the waiting room to say someone's in the waiting room?
I think so, yeah.
You can turn it on.
I think.
So,
But look, it's this one.
oh yeah, I'm gonna keep it quick.
Do, 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 do. Amazon. In this cart. One. Oh, yeah. You're back.
I am back. And let's see. Dude, I got Sage and Peyton a Valagram.
Yeah.
And since Sage is in a school, they gave her Valagram to this boy named the only other kid in the school named Sage. She has a class with him, and they gave it to the other boy Sage.
Oh,
I'm
serious?
like, it has her last name on it.
Do, 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 do. There you go. There we go. It's Alma, Brandon, and who's the other dude?
Ken. I
Ken.
think they'll make it on. We'll
Is
see.
he like the broker, the other person that's on with Brandon sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know him or is he out in Cali?
No, I didn't know him before.
Hmm. Maybe Alma. And then Spencer's not on, but Dave said he would be, right?
Yeah, Spencer's skiing today.
Yeah, how nice. Good. Mook said he's going to join probably a little bit later, but he's at an inspection right now.
Look, did you notice what picture I used on that story?
The girl walking?
No, the on my story on Instagram.
Yeah. You're a new one wearing a hat at the
Yeah, one of
office?
the ones from our photo shoot. I'm like, it's
Yeah.
so nice. I have all these AI and fresh photo shoots, like pictures I can use, you know? Better turn this to do not disturb.
Is this camera a lot more clear or?
It's clearer and it's like focused better.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's brighter. It
Well, that's
looks
because I
like,
got my light.
well, it's even brighter. So that is, but then, uh,
Oh,
yeah. Hi, Sean.
I see. What's happening, Sean?
Hi,
We
Ken.
got Sean and Ken.
Good morning.
Really need to like learn how to use Zoom better and figure out how to not have that waiting room, how to have people just be able to join. I'm sure it's super simple. I just have to figure it out.
Yeah. Thank you for doing this. We had Brandon, we just got back from a EXP Top 250
Oh, cool.
and Brandon can't even breathe. He's like, I gotta go to the emergency. I can't breathe. So I don't know
Oh
what's going on with him.
no.
So we just trying to play catch up. We thought we could put together a mastermind, but we're just overwhelmed right now. But
Oh, well, this works out great. We only do
perfect. Yeah.
this a couple times a month. We don't do it every week, so the timing worked out great.
Cool. Thank you for doing it.
Yeah.
I
Ken, what
sent it out
happened
to my
to?
group and like Sean's on it right now. He's from
Oh,
our
cool.
group.
Oh,
Hey there, sorry
sweet.
about that. My microphone wasn't working for a minute.
No worries.
Oh, you're good. Ken, what happened to Brandon? Was he just yelling and screaming with excitement or what?
I don't know. I don't know, but I'll tell you what, we shared a room and I couldn't sleep because he kept coughing. I'm like, dude, you
Oh
gotta get this
no.
checked out. But yes, he was screaming and yelling. It was really cool to meet these top people like that and just collaborate. It's really amazing. No other company does that. Like it was we brought Debbie Gates, who's a big top producer that just joined us. I mean, I'm talking a huge producer. And Tina Hare also came with
Oh,
us.
I
Who's
love
another,
Tina
Yeah,
Hair.
we know
yeah,
Tina.
I haven't seen her in forever.
so she was with us and they were like blown away at the difference of what EXP offers. It's not the tools and systems, it's the fact that it's led by the members. So the collaboration. So Leo was just hanging with us and
That's
sharing
so
That's
things and just
cool.
it was cool.
Ken, I can't tell you how many times. So Aaron knows Tina. I can't tell you how many times a week I hear, okay, like if we did this like Tina, or okay, like if we, so Tina does this, what if we, and I'm like, I get it. You love Tina. I love Tina. She's awesome. Okay.
well, Ken, you were with Century 21, right? And I just
Yes.
never got to I don't think I got to know you as well while I was there. I got to know Brandon and I got to know Tina and a few other people, but I just never got to know you as well during those years. So I'm glad that we're getting to know each other now.
No, it's likewise. And I was telling Brandon, I said, because we've been running into these women powerhouses, like all the groups that we were running into, and I'm like, I need to like learn from the women's side, like you women are crushing us guys, and I'm so we met this group in Texas, a group of three women. And it was so refreshing just to hear a different voice, like, and there's so many women in our group want to hear from other women, not from us. So we're
Yeah,
embracing it and trying to like the fact that you're helping us out is what we need. We need
that's awesome.
a different perspective because there's a lot of housewives and women that are coming out of divorces, all sorts of stuff that need that inspiration, that need to know that roadmap on how to like belief that they can do it. And it's really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, there's so many women. I mean, I don't know how much you know about my backstory, but I started in real estate. So my ex-husband, he was in Yellow Page sales. He sold the phone book advertising space. And when the iPhone came out, it only took a couple years before that became a dinosaur. And back in the day, I'm sure you remember, Ken, that was a good gig. Like that was a great job. You were making six figures if if you were selling phone book ads, it was a really kind of coveted job back in the day. And then it went to basically non-existent. And there was a transition period before business owners got confident with online advertising. So making the switch from print to online was really hard for business owners to make. So there was like a 5-year gap that was really tough financially for us. And we had 4 young kids. We had just had our third and our fourth twins. And I was kind of faced with this decision of what do we do? Like we had already owned a home. We bought a home in 2003, for like $180,000, I think, back when you could buy a nice home for that much. And I felt like if I didn't figure out a way to make really good money, we were going to have to sell our home and move across town to a nice area, but a way more affordable area into like a townhome or a condo. And I just couldn't picture doing that to my kids. My kids were in a killer
Mhm.
neighborhood with awesome friends. And so when my twins were 6 months old, I got my real estate license. I would work on it at night on the computer. In fact, they made it available to get your real estate license online in 2009, like January 2nd, 2009. And I signed up that day. I had been thinking about it, wanting to do it, but it was just difficult for me to get into classes. So I took all the courses online, got licensed, and it took a while to sell my first home, but I sold my first home in January 2011. And I remember sitting in Matt Barton's office, if you remember Matt Barton from Century 21, sitting in his office and telling him, I know you guys think I'm just this like spaz mom because I would bring my little kids into the office with me, but I'm going to be one of your top agents one day, Matt. I'm going to do it, And so,
Yeah.
yeah, and it worked out great. It's been a little over 15 years now. And my oldest at the time, who was 8 years old, is about to have a baby any day. So
No.
time just flies, but
It
yeah.
goes back. That's why I was recently posting pictures. I'm looking on my phone, and my kids are all in college now, and they start going their own path. You don't see them as much as frequently. And I'm looking at the little girl that used to be on my lap all the time, that used to be, daddy's girl, and she's like, it was sort of sad.
It is sad. It
Yeah,
really
but no, that's an amazing story, and again, that's what a lot of people, not just women, but a lot of men and women are in that same situation, facing a crisis, especially now with the economy the way it is, and they need help. They need direction on how to like bail out of this rut because all of a sudden everything's doubled and tripled in price, and
has.
incomes haven't. So a lot
It's
of people
true.
are
Ken,
facing that.
Ken, I've always said women have a major advantage in this industry, and men seem to like get three or four friends from high school, and then they just stick with that. We're a little bit more recluse. We don't want to like branch out. Women, they just love talking to everybody, so they have all these little networks and groups, and they just go around and talk to everybody. And like I've told Aaron this a ton, like I can prospect all day long and maybe get something. And Aaron will run girls to cheer and then to this and to golf and to tennis and then blah. And she'll come back and be like, okay, so and so called and they want to buy and sell. And then so and so said that so and so wants to buy. And I'm like, I worked my balls off all day and got nothing. And they just like stuff just comes to them because they have their hands in so many little tribes. And I'm like, okay, maybe I need to start getting to know more people or something.
You know, it's funny, all the women groups that I've met that are the top groups, including Debbie Gates, including Tina Hare, and now these women that I think I forgot, I don't want to butcher their name, I'll pull it up, but they have a group. All of them started with the PTA and push and building on the PTA. So she actually teach the group that we met. I mentioned that she goes, we teach an entire course on that, on the
That's
PTA, how
sweet.
to work the PTA. It
That's
is like
cool.
it's funny, but you're right. You're 100%. We don't have that. Oh, like Sean and I work with a lady in our office, and like she's always like she'll go out and get a haircut and just go to the store, and what do you do? And all of a sudden she's got like a listing appointment. Like it's like
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's crazy. Well, We got a lot of people on today. Let's do a quick intro. If someone's got Aaron's got a bunch of good stuff for us today, but before we get into that, let's someone either say or put in the chat best thing that happened to them last week or this week. Sorry, this week. Best thing that happened to them this week. Any good successes or whatever. Let's hear it. I'll give you
Yeah,
guys
just
some.
drop it in the chat and we'll shout them out. Your big win from the past week, or if you want to throw, uh, it can be business or personal, something good that happened.
I'll start us off while you guys are chatting in there. I've got a commercial listing in Provo that is a pain in the butt. It's been listed for 8 or 9 months, maybe. And got a showing last night, ran out there yesterday afternoon, and finally got someone that his dad's rich and may write an all cash offer on it. So we're like, okay, we like rich dads. Let's go, you know? So pretty excited about not running down 30 minutes away showing that all the time anymore.
I love it.
Well,
This is David. Can you hear me, Taylor?
You
yeah,
betcha. I'm just
Yeah.
staring at that beautiful face and background.
It's been extra long just for you in the morning. No, I just got back from St. George yesterday. Last night, just went down for a quick day trip. We've got a development we're doing down there. So apart from Edge, just my own personal development down there. And I just went and inspected our excavator and all the improvements, all the underground utilities. And we're ahead of schedule down there. Met with the recorder's office, and just everything's lining up. So we should be closing on that piece in about 3 weeks. So just had some really good news after a few delays here and there, but just had some really good news, and so came back on cloud nine.
Yeah.
awesome. Love it.
Of course, Dave's little humble brag there about his personal development.
I like your humble brag and your serious
Oh,
here right now,
yeah.
Spencer.
Right, you guys are all stuck in the office. That's stupid. But this is how much I like your calls. I'm taking some time to be here. So I wanted to share something real quick. So I've had a listing in Bountiful for almost 6 months. The seller's been pretty firm on the price, and I felt like we priced it pretty well. We priced it like 5.25. We did one price reduction at 520, and the seller was like, "Look, Spence, I'm comfortable just holding my guns on this thing." We're sitting there, and I think a lot of times as an agent, you're like, "I don't know, what have I missed here? I'm screwing things up." And then we ended up with multiple offers same weekend, and put that under contract. So it's just a good reminder, I think, like as an agent, that sometimes like patience is key, right? We could have sat there and kept cutting up the price, but sometimes it's just timing. And so anyway, that was a huge win for us, for my seller, and we're now through all of our contingencies. We've got a hard date, hard earnest money, and we're closing here in a week. So anyway, just an awesome win for me and for our client.
Dude, I love that. I love that. That's sweet.
Congrats, Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The white beard.
What about let's do here one more. Anybody else got one more, and then we'll let Aaron take this show, take the boat. Becky, we haven't heard from you. It's okay. You can drop something in the chat. Lisa, how many of you guys are from California with Ken?
I think we have one, two, sorry. Trying to see who's on here.
Sheila might be with you guys.
Sheila's with us, yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Sean. I just sent it out last minute, so I'm not sure how many will jump on, but I just want to share. I did an open house. When Debbie called me up, she goes, "I need someone to cover this open house on Saturday." And one of my things, this is before I left, canceled. And I said, "You know what? I'll do it." and I had a mentee with me, and I went and did it. And we only did it from 2 to 4, and we picked up like 3 solid buyers. But the point why I'm bringing it up is I've been just passing the buck along to either the lender or the mentee to just follow up, and they're not you know that, and they're not there yet. So the lender's not going to do your job, the mentee's not there yet. And I just said, what am I doing? Like, these people are ready to go. So I just started setting the appointments, calling the lender. And I told the lender, I said, I don't want you to just send the link for an application. I want you to qualify them on the phone. And I said, I'm working too hard here for you to forget about them later. And I just realized, I said, when I was like Aaron, starting out and needed to work, when I was selling in my heyday, doing very, very well, I was a lot more tenacious. I didn't take no for an answer, and I needed to be way more aggressive because the people that are there, they don't have time to meet with you later. Real life adventures kick in. Their work and kids and that. They're there to buy a home. Need to sell them a home right there. Set the appointment to show other property or get them qualified. And I managed to get two appointments set, and someone in lending, the lender just called me saying that everything's looking good moving forward. So we're moving forward with it.
Yo, that's awesome. Good job on doing that. I heard a stat the other day that 71% of agents drop off after the first no. So Ken, like you were saying, if you just push through and just keep talking to them, like get through 1, 2, maybe 3 no's, like your chances of getting the client are so much higher. Like everyone else just hears the one no and they're like, oh, they're not ready, and they run away. But really, follow up, keep talking to them, and they're ready to go most of the time.
Yeah, I think the key, I don't want to take over the call. I definitely would just want to hear Erin on her thing, but I will just tell you, if you're operating from a servant's heart and you're giving value regardless, even like one guy said, I have an agent I'm working with, and I said, it's okay. I said, just here, if something comes up, send me, I'll send it to you. Just leave your email. I'll send it. No problem. And he goes, my agent contract expires like in 3 or 4 days, and honestly, like he hasn't been doing much. I wasn't trying to snake him. I really wasn't. But just kept talking, kept building rapport, kept telling him, showing value of what I had to offer locally, and he just felt the better connection. But I didn't have that intention, just I said, hey, you know what? And I literally 3 months ago, same thing. I was doing an open house. Guy came up to me, and he says, hey, you selling that house down the street? And I go, yeah. How's it going? I go, it's busy. I go, I'm going to have it sold next week. And he had a listing I didn't know up the street that nobody was showing, wasn't selling. When it expired, he called me up, and he asked me for some information, and I said, here's who you call. This is what you do. And he's like, buddy, he goes, I got an agent. My house is listed. And I said, it's okay, bud. No problem. Here's the information. I'll help you out. I get it. And he remembered that. So you just gotta like, don't just look for the money. Just, go with good intention, and it pays off later.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You're not doing it just for a commission check. If we're just here to help people, then it always comes back to us. I
Yep.
love that.
Yep.
All right, Aaron. Well, it's your show. Let's hear it.
Awesome. Let's see, someone just commented. Let's see, Melissa. She's on the title side and she's had a great week marketing a few new agents and existing agents, and she's here to learn how to be the best in whatever part of real estate we are in. Erin is one of my best clients, and I have learned a lot from her. She's also one of my best friends. We were neighbors for about a decade, like 2 doors down, and our kids grew up together. So thanks for being here, Melissa, and thank you. We have a couple lenders on here too. And I'm really grateful you guys are here, and feel free to share this with other agents. Like the idea behind this gathering was that every agent from every brokerage is welcome, and we just want people who want to learn and grow together to show up and collaborate together. So, really quickly that our California friends, we know from when Taylor and I were a part of Century 21 Everest, our company here in Utah also owned offices in California. And so we're grateful that we've been able to reconnect with our California friends. In fact, if you were here at the beginning of the call, we were talking about Tina Hare, who Ken just and Brandon and a few others spent the weekend at an event with. And Tina Hare taught me two really, really critical and important things at a time in my career where I was feeling really overwhelmed with the pressure of being successful. I don't know if you can relate to that, but like I was trying so hard to be successful, and I felt like I felt like I had this ability inside of me to be greater than I was at the time, but I was also in the middle of raising young kids who still very much needed their mom to be present in their life. And it was the most random thing that she said, but she was here. She had flown into Utah to do an event for our offices here in Utah. And she was talking about the PTA where she served and being involved in her local community when her kids were growing up. I think she had two children, a son and a daughter. And her children were at that point that she was speaking grown up. And I think one was in college, one was married, and I know she had grandkids. And so she was talking about how her husband was a firefighter, she was a real estate agent, they were raising their family. And then when her kids were grown, she was able to like dive full into her real estate business. And at that time, I think she was earning over $1 million a year in commission. And I know she got to the point where she was earning over $2 million a year in commission. And she was just a normal woman, like just normal, nothing flashy about her. She wasn't like, what you picture when you think of a $2 million agent and the way they're presented on Instagram. She was as normal as you and I, as relatable as you and I, and she was crushing it in real estate. But she told me without even realizing it that she held off on going to the level that she was at, although it was always inside of her for the time that she was raising her kids. And I desperately needed to hear that at that moment. It took the weight of the world off of my shoulders. And if you know me well enough, you know that I have kind of bridled some of my goals and some of the things I want to do in real estate while I finish raising my kids. And my youngest two kids are twins. They're juniors in high school. We have 1 year left. My older two are out of the house. And so once my twins got driver's license, that freed up some time and allowed me to do things like this. But I hope you guys stick around and grow with me over the next few years because I'm almost at that point where Tina was, where, I'm not ever done being a mom, but the responsibilities of raising children are coming to an end soon, sadly. And there's some fun stuff that I want to do in real estate. So the other thing that Tina taught me that day is that it was an event that I had kind of I didn't know if I had time to make it to, but I felt this pull inside of me that I really wanted to be there. And so I made it happen. I showed up to that event, and it was like 2 minutes of what she said that completely, massively changed my life. And she didn't even know it. She wasn't even trying to say something that would change my life. It was a passing comment to her. She was just telling the story of her life. And I learned that day that showing up when you feel that pull inside of you to be in a room matters. And that sometimes you go to an event and 3 hours of it, you don't really get anything from it, but in 30 seconds, it can completely change the direction that you're going in or give you the answer that you've been searching for or provide something that is massively impactful to your life. So I applaud you all for being here. I thank you for being here. And then Spencer, I love how you told that story about how you had a listing sitting for 6 months and all of a sudden it got multiple offers because that is exactly what's happening in the market right now. We're getting showings on homes that have been sitting in droves. And so the market is heating up, and everything that I've prepared for you guys today, I'm going to show you at the end how to get to the replay and this PDF that I've created for you guys. And please share it with your friends. Get people to join in with you because it's a 30-day sprint to create momentum for the spring and summer market. And if you're a lender or a title person, pass this on, share it with everyone. I want to get everyone like organized in a really simple, easy to execute plan and kind of collectively do this together so that we can have lots and lots and lots of closings this spring and summer and a really nice vacation this fall. That's how I function, work hard all spring and summer and then take a really nice vacation when things start to wind down. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. And this exact document that I'm going to share with you, I have available for you guys to download as well. Okay, can you all see that?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so this is a 30-day sprint workbook, and I just love AI because look at this cool photo AI created for me for this workbook of this real estate agent sprinting, right? The visual. Like, I believe that if over the next 30 days, if if we all will very intentionally execute just a few simple things every single day, we can create massive momentum in our business. And I've done things like this before, and I'm sure you've, done these little challenges or whatever before, and understand the power of intention for a extended period of time, the momentum that's created in the results. So, I gotta figure out how to get to my next page here. Okay, so the market is hot. Have you guys seen this? That there are more pre-approvals happening right now than there have been in the last 3 years. Is everyone aware of that? I'm sure the lenders on here are aware that pre-approvals are spiking in a big way. And so the momentum in the market is building in, and I just want everyone to tap in. I want you to like tap in and be like, we're gonna crush this next 30 days in this summer and have the best year that we've had. So I came up with this strategy and this plan that's super clear, super simple. Like this is literally 4 pages of very easy to execute strategy. And this is to build an idea for you. And I want you to expand on this. If you don't know how to use ChatGPT yet, download ChatGPT and start playing around with it because you can use what I've put in this document as a little template to have it generate more ideas. And I'll explain to you how to do that. So this is the strategy. We're going to focus on these 3 buckets right here, and I'll explain these. And we're not going to overcomplicate things. We're just going to keep it simple and we're going to stick to it. All you have to do for 30 days is not quit. That's it. You just have to keep showing up. So bucket 1 is your warm leads, which is your SOI, and your old leads, anything that's over like 6 months old. This is your warm bucket, okay? And then you have your watching bucket, your watchers, and they're like your social media lurkers and like the people that are on your email list and that you send mailers to every month if you send anything in the mail. So these are people that you don't even know exist. They're out there and you have no idea that they exist, but they are watching what you're doing. And when they're ready, they're going to reach out to you. And then you have your active people who are ready now. And your active people that are ready now, these could be like pre-approvals from a couple months ago that have kind of gone silent, but they are ready. And so I just want you to not forget about the people that are in this active bucket that are ready to do something now. These are also people who maybe they had their house listed last year and they took it off in the fall, and you're feeling kind of like skittish because their house didn't sell and you were the agent before. It's time to reach out to them again and see if they're ready to make this happen this spring. And it's important to educate them on how the market has changed from last fall to this spring. Okay. So I've got scripts that I've written down, and these are just to start ideas for you. In these lines below, this is to jot down ideas for other scripts that are similar, and this is where ChatGPT comes in really handy. You can literally copy and paste this script right here and tell ChatGPT to give you 20 more examples of a script like this, and it will spit out scripts. And all you're doing is you're looking for one that feels authentic to you that you can tweak and make your own. So I have always like had an adverse reaction to the word scripts. I don't know why. If Alma was on this call, Alma is the king of like scripts and prospecting, and I am the polar opposite of Alma. I don't like scripts and I don't like prospecting. I have an adverse reaction to them. So if you can relate to that, that is me. What I like are sound bites, and sound bites are really just scripts. So sound bites are a script that you take and make your own, and then maybe you can come up with a real life story that's happened to you and put it into your own words. So sound bites are scripts, but they are, little stories or little questions or remarks that you might make that you program to memory, so that when you're having a conversation with someone, you have the right information ready to go to respond to their questions or the conversation that you're having. So here's our scripts that are the prompts for you to come up with more scripts. So your text to your past clients. Hey, quick question. With the market picking up this spring, have you thought at all about making a move this year? I'm mapping out my next 60 days and I wanted to check in personally. So this is a really soft approach. This is not aggressive at all. And it's just a way to connect and start a conversation with your clients. Just kind of like Ken was talking about, to be helpful, to see if they have a need. Just asking them if they have a need or something coming up is to make that connection. Your text to old buyers. Hey, so and so, rates have shifted faster than expected. If you were going to buy in the next 6 months, I'd recommend we reconnect this week. Do you want to hop on a quick 10-minute call? And then they'll let you know what they're thinking. And then your DM to social media engagement. So anyone that's liking what you're watching your stories, you can see if someone watches your stories and you can engage with them because you know they saw that. Random question. Are you just watching the market for fun or considering a move sometime this year? These are just ways to check in, okay? And then this is always a really difficult thing for me. Raise your hand if social media is something that you still struggle with. You feel like is always a constant challenge for you. Okay, me for sure. I don't know. I have like a love-hate relationship with social media. So I came up with a campaign for the next 30 days, and I'm going to break it down even more on the next page. But this is where I want you to commit that if you follow through, and I should just say media campaign because some of this is email and text, but if you follow through for 30 days, I believe that you are going to create momentum from this. I really do. So week 1 is an urgency reel. So it's creating a reel in Instagram, and you can link your Instagram to your Facebook. So this automatically posts to Facebook for you. And if you don't know how to do this stuff, just reach out to me and we can set up a call and I can show you a few things that will make it easier. Okay. So an urgency reel, the market just shifted. Here's what most buyers are missing. And again, you can use ChatGPT to fill in the blanks. A poll. You can create a poll on Instagram in your stories. If rates dropped 0.5%, would you move? Yes, no, or maybe. And you can see who's actually interested in maybe doing something without even having to text them or ask them a question. Then you would follow up with them, right? Your stories, which is your little circle at the top, that's the scrolling stories, social proof. So behind the scenes stuff, showings, contracts, activities. If you're at an event, just social proof that you are actively engaged in real estate. And so I didn't know this for a long time, but reels are like the videos that you watch on Instagram and Facebook. Reels are where you should be putting content that you want to last forever. It's like generic content that will work forever. Listings, solds work because that's just social proof that is going to be there for forever. And then stories are for your daily activities, and it's where your audience gets to know you in your stories. And so your stories is where you show up really authentic and real. Okay, week 2. Here's the strategy. An education post, like 3 signs it's time to sell. You're informing sellers and buyers of what's going on, what buyers are negotiating right now. Another post that week is a carousel, a spring seller advantage. A carousel is a post where they swipe through the post so that they're actively engaging with the post. And then again, do your stories and your social proof. Week 3 is kind of like taking a position of authority. So you're sharing pending deals, previously closed deals, coming soon deals, and any stories about like multiple offers are great right here to post onto your actual feed. And then in your carousel, your swipe post that you're doing that week, you're going to post some past client testimonials. So 3 to 5 past client testimonials that people can swipe through and read. And then week 4, which is the last week of our sprint, you're going to do a direct call to action. I'm booking 5 strategy calls this week. Who wants to get on my schedule? So it's going to be like you've been consistently posting. If you haven't been before, this is going to be huge for you to be consistently posting for 3 weeks straight. And then on the 4th week, hey, I'm booking 5 strategy calls for people looking to sell or buy this year. Who wants to meet? And then a post, thinking of selling, comment value for a free CMA. Something that gets them to say, hey, yeah, I want to know the value of my home. And then again, that social proof. Okay, before I keep going, does anyone have any questions or any comments or anything they want to jump in with right here?
How do you make a carousel?
Ooh, I'll show you. I'll show you at the end, Ken.
Okay.
It's easiest to do through Canva and then save it and upload it to Instagram, which is not, it might sound hard, but it's not that hard, I promise. Canva is the greatest thing that's ever happened to your social media. So if you don't know how to use Canva and it's intimidating, it was intimidating for me at first, it was intimidating for Taylor at first, and after a week or two, it becomes really easy. It's super user friendly, okay?
That's a good question, Ken, because up until a few weeks ago, I didn't even know what a carousel was. So
Okay,
I
so
wanted to share with you guys an announcement that's going to come out at one of the one of the benefits of going to that top 250. They announce things that aren't out yet.
cool.
And one of the big ones is that in Canva now through EXP, you put in the MLS number and it'll give you all the collateral automatically. All the listing presents, everything. I mean, all the posts and whatever.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
sweet.
Okay, so here's the commitment that we're all going to make together. 30 days, a full commitment, play full out, stay committed. I have a school community that I've got a lot of our past calls and stuff set up on that I'll show you. It's really easy to use. That you can go comment for accountability and meet up and chat as we're going through this, okay? Here's the commitment you're making. 5 real estate conversations per day. These can be a call, these can be a text, they can be a DM, and they can be a voice memo. And voice memos are extremely effective. So if you go through those 3 buckets that we talked about, I would recommend starting with those 3 buckets, the people that you feel like are the most likely to do something in the next, or let's say to need your help in the next 6 to 12 months. So start with the people that you anticipate are going to need your help the soonest. One rule, and this is something George Morris taught me years ago, is to always follow your hunch. So if someone pops into your head, if a name pops into your head, reach out to them, send them a voice memo, say, hey, I was just thinking about you. This morning, I texted one of my childhood friends. I went to preschool with her, and she lives about 3 hours from where I live now. And her husband passed away, I think, 10 years ago from colorectal cancer. And James Vanderbeek, Dawson from Dawson's Creek, I'm sure you all saw, passed away a couple days ago from colorectal cancer. And so I reached out to my friend randomly and just said, hey, I've been thinking about you. I really liked James Vanderbeek. I know you liked so and so, and it made me think about Ty, your husband, and that period of time in your life. And I don't know if this has been triggering for you, but I just wanted to let you know I'm praying for you and I've been thinking about you. You know, just something, she's been on my mind, and I just sent the text to let her know I was thinking about it. It has nothing to do with real estate, but that's what I'm talking about here. When someone pops into your head, you reach out to them, you connect to that with them, and you let them know that you're thinking about them. And Taylor in the beginning was like, I don't know, you know, they're talking about women have something that men don't. That's what it is. We let people know that we care about them. And if that is like, I don't think of it as a secret. It's just our nature. And I don't know if that's something that men do as often or not. I certainly don't want to, you know, make a drastic, stark difference between men and women. But I really do think that people who have a lot of success in this business, where business just seems to come to them, that's what it is. Don't be afraid to send the text. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call someone. Don't be afraid to send the email or check in on people. Most of the time, when I'm interacting with my SOI and the people that are in my sphere, I'm not talking to them about anything to do with real estate at all. And they all know I'm a real estate agent. So just reach out to people, connect with people. You don't have to use a real estate script. I certainly haven't, because I don't want to come off as a pushy salesperson ever. So I don't typically use real estate scripts when I'm prospecting. When I'm prospecting, it comes from a place of authenticity of, connecting with and trying to stay engaged with the people that I care about. So this is your commitment. These 5 real estate conversations per day, 3 social media posts per week. So your posts are the thing that go in your feed. Your posts are different than your stories. Okay. Your stories are in the little circle at the top that you tap and it just scrolls through. And some people have 10 stories or 20 stories at a time. So those you're doing every single day. Your posts, you're doing just 3 a week. And I gave you the formula and the strategy for that. Okay. 1 live video per week, that goes in your stories as well. You could just create that right in your stories, and I'll show that to you in a minute. And then 1 email per week for 4 weeks. You're going to, whoever's in your database, you're going to write 1 authentic email a week. And when I say authentic, I'll tell you how I do this. I sit down. It's best if you can stick to a day. I'm going to be honest, I'm terrible at sticking to a day. I was supposed to do it on Monday and I get to it on Wednesday. That's usually how I operate, but it's on my to-do list and I'll get it done. I sit down and I do a brain dump of, hey, this is what's been happening this week. I try to keep it more personal and connect with people. And then I take what I wrote and I put it into ChatGPT and I say, hey, can you clean this up and organize it and make it still sound like me, but like written better than I have the ability to write. And it cleans it up. And sometimes I'll have it add emojis or whatever. And then I copy and paste it and I put it back in my email template and I send it out. So it's authentic, it's me, but it cleans up any spelling errors and any grammar errors and cleans up my vocabulary a little bit. I don't ever want it to sound like too professional or like a copywriter wrote it. I want it to sound like it came from me, but I'm usually pretty pleased with the outcome and the few little changes. It's like having your own personal editor, right? Everyone knows that an author who writes a book, it gets edited before that book. Like the author didn't write every word the way that it gets published. They have editors that go through and they make changes and suggestions and clean it up so that their story is presented better. And that's what ChatGPT will do for you. It will make your ideas, your content in a better presented format. And then 10 follow-up texts per day. So just 10 check-ins with people per day. And it can be exactly that story that I just told you. It doesn't have to be anything to do with real estate. It's just connecting with people in your sphere. Okay. If you commit and follow through, the results at bare minimum should produce enough momentum that for the next 3 months, that it will completely change the outcome of your spring and summer income. It will have a massive impact on your spring and summer income if you will just commit to these simple things. And this could take you an hour to 2 hours a day. It's not much. It's just having a system in place. The best year I've had in real estate is because of the implementation of systems, because I got really organized and clear on what my systems were going to be and I followed them. And it took me a long time to do that. I always just kind of like flew by the seat of my pants, right? Just reacting to what was coming at me and reacting to the needs of my children and my family. When I got clear on a system and executed on a system to 80%, not 100%, to 80%, that's always my target and my metric is if I can do something at 80%, I'm going to get pretty dang good results from that. Years ago, I had to take the pressure of 100% off of myself. So if you haven't done that yet, I'm giving you permission today that you're getting a B plus or a B if you're in the 80% range. And that's pretty dang good as a real estate agent. That's going to put you in the top 1%. Okay. So execute this at 80%. It's just the best of your ability while the other things in your life can still remain a priority that are a priority. And then this last page is just for you to take notes. So that's it. It's really simple. I'm going to show you where you can download all of this right now. So if you go to, I got to move my thing here so I can see. If you go to agentswapmeetschool.com and it's spelled SKOOL, agentswapmeetschool, SKOOL.com. Taylor, will you put that in the chat so people can see that? Yours might look a little bit different because I created it. So yours probably won't have this thing. But right here, there's a little welcome. And then this is how to find the past Zoom calls right here. So how you find past Zoom calls that we've done is you click on this little classroom right here, and you click on this agent swap meet, Zoom agent swap meet past recordings, and they're all the ones that actually got recorded are going to pull up. We had a little hitch where a couple didn't get recorded, but everything should be recorded. I've already started the 30-day sprint tab right here. So like if you click on these different ones, it's going to pull up the different Zoom calls from previous calls. If you click on 30-day sprint, February 13th, 2026, I'll have the actual call loaded later today or tomorrow. But right now I already have that workbook here, and you can just click on download the printable workbook, and you can download that workbook so that you can follow it. Okay. Okay, Canva. Let me show you in Canva really quick. So
I'll tell you what, real
Yeah.
quick, one thing I love about this is I think I can speak for probably a lot of us, but I operate with let's just keep things super simple. And I
Super.
overcomplicate things all the time, but this is sweet because you can get a lot done in a lot of different arteries of the business, but it's very, very simple and easy in 30 days, and hopefully it builds the habit to keep it going.
Here's the other thing that I should mention. If you do not have a big social media following and you haven't put much thought or effort into Instagram or Facebook, I focus on Instagram and I just sync to Facebook. So everything on Instagram gets synced to Facebook. I just post only on Instagram. Your first step, and this, I should have mentioned this because this is pretty critical. If you don't have a lot of people that you're following or following you, your first job this week is to go through and start following people, like following your clients, following people you know, and finding your SOI, adding them on Instagram, and then commenting on their Instagram so that you pop up on their feed and so that they see what you're posting. So if you're like, well, I haven't really done much on Instagram, so this doesn't really apply to me, that's okay. Go into Instagram, Sunday afternoon and just spend an hour adding people and commenting on stuff with people. Commenting on someone else's post or on their story is a really good way to start engagement with what you're doing so that they can see what's going on with you. And I probably should have incorporated that. So I'm just going to mention it, that engaging with other people who are on social media is your best ROI on using social media, is get on there and engage with them. I got to be honest, I don't love doing it. It's the same thing as prospecting for me, because social media, I think sometimes can feel like you can go down a rabbit hole, and spend a lot of time getting sucked into different channels. So just stay focused and remember your intention for being there, and engage with people. And you might find out some, things about people that you didn't know were going on in their life. And then it's an opportunity to text them and say, hey, I didn't know this was going on. I just wanted to check on you. How are you doing? So, okay. When you get to Canva, you've got 3 little tabs right up here at the top. This Canva AI, it can be a little janky sometimes. Like, it's AI, and sometimes what it spits out is a little bit, it's just a little bit janky sometimes. So just be prepared for that. But we're going to say create an Instagram reel. That's its cue to format it to the right size for what, sorry, we're doing a carousel. An Instagram carousel. That is a modern luge theme using black, white, and soft pink.
Yeah.
I need 5 slides. Okay. The cool thing is, once you create this once, you can reuse the same template and just change it up and put different, I love, this is like, so this is giving me a few different templates. See how it's like, I don't really love that. Simple business slides. Okay, it got confused because I said slides, and so it's giving me slides for a presentation. So let's go back and let's take that off. Create an Instagram carousel that is modern, luge, white, let's say black, beige, and soft pink. And let's keep it more simple and see what it gives us. So this is the right size right here. So this is like the size of a post. So you just pick one. We'll pick this one to keep it fast. You pick one and it already has this background and everything set up for you. And all you're going to do now is you're going to change what's on here. Like you might change this image. See how I can move this image? You might change that and do something completely different. So I might just trash that and get rid of that image and say, I like the background, but I don't want that random hand sticking out. So this can be like, top 5 trends that sell your, or top
Ken,
5
Ken,
tips.
for me and you, we'll probably just put our name on it and call it good. Like no one's really going to pay attention to what we're posting, right? So
Right? Then you can add a logo up here. You can put you change this out to yours. So it'll take you 20 to 30 minutes to go through and change the content on here, but all of the background and everything is done for you. Then you just go up to this little share button right here and you hit download on this button right here. And then a PNG is perfect for what you're posting on a JPEG or a PNG. And then the last thing, yeah, so pages 1 to 5. Basically, it's just going to create it for you. You're going to download it, and then I usually I use a Mac, and so I'll share that image from my computer to my phone because I just always post from my phone to Instagram. So I just airdrop it to my phone, and then I can use the image that's in my phone. It'll save it right to your photos, and then you upload it to Instagram. So I don't know if I can do that I just never used my computer for Instagram. But from within Instagram, when you're going to create, and we'll just have to do another class on that. I'll have to figure out how to do a class on Instagram and show you how to do it. But if you want to call me too and set up a time to chat, I can show you some of this stuff in person. So, okay. I'm going to stop this. What questions, comments, what do you guys, what questions do you have?
I don't have any questions. I just need some training from you, Erin. This is awesome.
It absolutely will make a difference for sure. And this is probably the simplest, easiest way to start into that. Now, here's the other thing I will say. If this is overwhelming to you and social media is just like, I'm not ready for that right now, tweak it. Tweak everything that I just gave you. Don't abandon the plan, but go in and say, well, I'm going to do phone calls here and I'm going to do an email. I can do an email and I'm going to do texts here and I'm going to do voice memos here and engage, pick 10 people a day to engage with. Most of us use CRMs, and your CRMs, sometimes they have smart predictors that tell you who's likely to sell, who's not. Go back through your texts, go back through your emails, and figure out who kind of falls into those buckets that we talked about, and just do it the way that you do it. Don't abandon it because you're not a social media person. Do it your way and make this little 30-day sprint work for you. So.
I'll tell you what, I've used the voice memo quite a bit. I actually use that almost daily, and I love it because I can just sit there and talk and explain something in a minute or two and send it to them. And if I've met the client or if I've done a deal with them in the past, sometimes I'll do a quick video text, and I felt absolutely stupid doing that at first. But people love it. They feel like you're interacting and talking to them more. They remember, like sometimes I'll do it to someone I haven't seen or talked to in a year. And they're like, oh yeah, okay, it's Taylor. I remember him, So I felt dumb at first, but those two I use a lot and I've had a good response. I love it.
When we were at the CXP event, we met this guy, Mitch. I can't remember his name, but he's this amazing top agent, top guy with an amazing background in entrepreneurial skill set. The guy built the first dating app ever.
Oh, cool.
And he lost $85 million when the bubble, the internet bubble, the dot-com bubble came and came back as a real estate agent, booming. Oh, crazy stuff, crazy story. The reason why I'm bringing it up, he grabbed Brandon's phone. He said, "How many contacts do you have on your phone?" He went to the bottom and he goes, and he had typed in some formula. He goes, "This is how many leads you'll get from this." And so he offered to teach a class. He's going to teach a class on, and he only works 25 hours a week. That's his thing. But what he was using simplistic things. He's like, look, don't make it so CRM-ish. He goes, I use MailChimp. I dumb it down to 100 people. And he goes, and then I send this, he says 2 emails a week. And when someone raises their hand, then I take them into a different level. I didn't get the whole gist of it yet because he hasn't taught me, but I was really intrigued with because he definitely walks the walk. And I'll invite everyone here I'll give you the link and you can share. But when he does teach that class, I think it's something that we should all jump into. But I just wanted to comment, Aaron, like the other gentleman said, you have a knack for keeping it simple, and that was clear and defined, and it was a clear and defined action plan. And I need to learn from that because I just talk too much and I don't give people this great, clear instruction on, hey, you need to do this. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. I talk too much too, Ken, and that's where the power of systems really started to like have impact on my life. Because I have been so reactive for so many years and functioned kind of from this place of like stress and anxiety and like overwhelm and really cleaning things up and getting dialed in. And this is, in fact, if you go to that agentswapmeetschool.com, the one from 2 weeks ago, I went over my systems and operations manual, and I have a link in there for my whole operations manual. That was a really, really good one to show you the systems I put into place in my business. And so you can go in there and watch it. It's about 45 minutes long. And download that operations manual. And then if you have questions about that, call me after and we'll chat. But getting clear on like I operate as a solo agent still, but I have a team around me that does my transaction coordinating and some administrative stuff for me. I have other agents that do open houses because my time is really valuable, right? I built out an operations manual for an entire real estate team, knowing that if I grew, this is how I would grow it. And so instead of getting to that place of overwhelm and anxiety and stress when it's time to grow and bring in another system, I already have it outlined. It doesn't mean I'm going to do it exactly like that, but I have a plan for growth that keeps me from trying to do everything that I don't want to be doing, you know? So that would be a really good one to go in and watch if that resonates with you. But
Is it labeled systems and processes or on
oh yeah, it's all in
it's
fact
labeled?
yeah,
The class?
so let me show you. I'll just show you so you know exactly what you're looking for. Um, it's in, I gotta move this guy. So in school right here, the systems manual, January 30th.
Okay.
I need to go in and add, I thought I had the link in here for it. I will put the link for the actual manual in here, or I'll just email it to you. But this is just skip past the first 15 minutes. There's a lot of chatting in the first 15 minutes. Get to where I start showing the manual and the operation system, and I'm going to go through all of it, and it'll show you. It has like my system for listings, for buyers, for when we close on a transaction, like the system of operations, like what we actually do, the steps of everything. And there's a few things missing from this template, but it will give you the idea and then you can customize it to yourself. So, and I have a template in Canva that I can share with you, and then you can go into Canva and you can edit it and make it your own and have your own operations and system manual as well. So
I would love those links if you have those links.
yeah,
I thank you so much. I
yeah,
appreciate that.
you're welcome. I'll email them to you and you can share them with your team if you want. And if you want to set something up where we do something like this just for your team, we can do that. So
Great.
thanks so much, everyone, for showing up today. It was great having you all here. Don't hesitate to reach out. We're here for you.
I want to share it with you, Aaron. a story about Tina.
Okay.
That I was her manager for a long time and helped her. I didn't help her. She's on her own. I don't want to ever say that. I didn't help her. We've had discussions like this and we've collaborated, I should say better. I never want to take away, she's another level of greatness on as far as a real estate agent. And I didn't do any of it. But I will tell you, there was one day it was really funny. We were by the kitchen and we had what a stroke board is, the whiteboard. We used to have dots on there. And every month she would sell 30 houses every month, 25, 30 houses a month. And this particular year was the year she did sell over 2 million. She was the number one agent in the world. And we just got back from this trip where they literally paraded her around stage and we were coming down the escalators. There was pictures of her. Like it was a big, big deal. That next week, we're at the office by the kitchen. I see her and she just looks miserable. And I'm like, I know what's wrong. And she goes, no, you don't. You have no idea. I go, oh, yes, I do. I know exactly what's wrong. She goes, you have no idea what I'm going through right now. You have no idea. I said, can I take a guess? And she says, okay, go ahead. I said, you're scared because you got to do it all over again, right? Because it was the beginning of the new year. And she goes, holy crap, I'm scared shitless. She goes, because you take it's a like a over. I had been there. I have had my heydays of doing great, not at her level, not even close. But in my small world, I did a lot, and I felt the same way because you get so much focus, like you were saying, the pressure of being a top producer. And people don't realize the what her biggest strength is, along with other people, is her consistency to do it over and over again, right? But she was feeling that feeling of, oh my God, like I can't, like I just got paraded around. What if I don't make it again? And I told her, I said, Tina, there is no month 12. There's month 13, month 14th. Don't stop. Don't start over. Just continue like, don't look at it as the beginning of a new year. You have to power, like when you're going, you just keep going. That's what I had to do because if I started over from square one, then I felt like I needed to start with not much. But if I'm on a high and I'm doing that $2 million a year, don't change. You just keep powering through. Don't look at it as beginning to end, month to month. And that changed it for me and helped. I think it really resonated with her.
Yeah, I love that. And for those of you that don't know Tina, her big thing is door knocking. I don't know if that's still it, but there's a city called Moore Park in California, and she owns Moore Park. She focuses on that city, and sure, she does business outside of it, but she knocks doors in Moore Park and she knows the residents there. She sponsored a new scoreboard at the baseball field. That's her thing. And I was actually looking up who the top producers at my brokerage were nationally this year. And I'm from Seattle. The number two producer for my brokerage was in the Seattle market, right in the area that I grew up in. And I looked up her social media. She doesn't post anything on social media. She engages with her community. Her social media presence is crap. So even though this whole thing was like, here's a way to use social media to build momentum in the next few days, it doesn't have to be social media. You build momentum in whatever area is the area that you are drawn to in real estate. Door knocking hasn't been it for me. Calling people hasn't been it for me. It's interacting with people in my networks, and texting and normal interactions has been what I'm really good at, and I lean into that. So I would just encourage you, whatever it is where your comfort zone is. Like people always tell you to get out of your comfort zone. I would say lean into what you're most comfortable doing. That is your superpower, and go all in on your superpower and do it your way, authentic to you, but do it and be intentional and be committed and be aggressive about it, with the right intention behind it. So anyway, we're way over on time, but you guys have a great week. Thank you for being here. We'll do this again in a couple weeks, and again, reach out if you want to chat. Hey,
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
See ya.
Yeah, see ya.